SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming from Lincoln Speedway with Weldon Stern Memorial winner Anthony Macri. Anthony, you come home and not much has changed. You win again at Lincoln Speedway, 20,000, a big race to get a hold of and get a big check.
Yes, it's obviously special to win 20,000, but more so to put my name on the list of drivers that have won this race. So there's a lot of really good drivers, and a lot of special names on the list, and just to be able to put our name on it is really special to me, and I'm sure it's special to Joe and everyone else. So I felt like when we were on the road we were pretty good. I mean, obviously we struggled really bad the last night at Red Dirt, but you'll have those nights. I mean, you can't run good every night, but I don't know. It's just the momentum's going right now, and I'd say the confidence is pretty high, and it just seems like all four of us are working together. It's a well-oiled machine, and just having fun.
Is there pressure coming home though after you win a high limit race? I mean, I know
you're going to ask this
because, and I know I mentioned it in the 90 at 9, and tongue in cheek, but there's a lot of expectations on this team all the time. Is that tough to deal with sometimes, especially when you come home?
Yeah, I'd say it definitely gets in my head at sometimes. I mean, especially this week, I felt like I was coming home and was expected to perform. And I mean,
I'm sorry
90
about
at 9,
that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just I think I put a lot of pressure on myself this week. Being able to win out of state is obviously not an easy task. So it makes you feel like you should be able to come home and do just as well, if not better. So I'd say a lot of the pressure was myself, on my being hard on myself, and I don't know. I personally felt a lot of pressure coming back home. Just felt like I had to perform, and not that PA isn't the same level of racing as High Limit and Outlaws is. It's just every time we've gone out, when we came back, we've run better when we come home, and I just didn't want that that momentum to break when we came home, and just wanted to run well. And obviously we all wanted to win tonight. I mean, big payday and the race that it is. So luckily we didn't step on it, and we got to win.
You mentioned being out on the road. How does that make you better? I mean, you do come back home and usually run well. Even if you don't win, you're in the top 5. You're competing for wins. What is it about the road that just make you sharper?
Yeah, I would definitely say it makes me sharper. I mean, you can't make mistakes when you're running out there with those guys. I mean, one mistake is, a mistake is huge. Normally a mistake is, somebody's passing you. So just learn to, race way harder and smarter at the same time, and, seeing different tracks and different surfaces and being in different situations. And you just, Joe and I mean, I take my take from it, and Joe takes his take from it, and obviously that proverbial notebook gets bigger, and we just seem to get better when we go out on the road, and I don't know, it just makes me sharper, and I feel like I'm way more aggressive when I come back home. It's just, I don't want to say I get in a rut of not driving hard when I come back home. It's just, I feel like I don't get tongue twisted. I don't want to say I get in a rut of not driving as hard when I am home, but when I come back home, I feel like I definitely drive, way harder, and feel like my decision making is definitely sharper, and just learn to make decisions quicker and faster, and I don't know, it's beneficial.
Tonight you made all the right decisions. You were really good in 3 and 4 on the top, and really pretty much around the speedway. Freddie got a couple shots at you late on a restart, but you were able to drive away, and this car was just so good up top around the lip.
Yeah, it's just the cautions, I was kind of getting in my own head. I mean, I know Freddie's really, really, really good on restarts, and especially here he's really good on restarts. So I definitely had to think about what I wanted to do, and just kind of put myself in Freddie's mindset for a hot second, and luckily the restarts panned out, and then after the restarts I knew I just had to keep my pace up and not mess up, and I don't know how much of a lead we had, but I could have swore I kept hearing them behind me, so I kept driving harder and harder, and it's just we had a good car, and it kind of made it easy to run a pretty fast, hard pace, and that's that.
Last thing, this team's clicking on all cylinders. You brought in Nate Repitz this year. I don't think
Standing right behind you.
well, God knows what he's doing, but Nate, you brought in him this year. He's clicked really quick. Obviously, he has a lot of experience on the road as well with JJR. How much is bringing him in and help this team, and also just with you guys gelling and right out of the gate and 5 wins already?
Yeah, I don't know. Just over the off season, him being in the shop and Joe and I, it's just kind of formed like a brotherly friendship over the winter. And when we went to Florida, it just kind of seemed natural, and it was just very fluent with him, and just everything clicked. And he's a really hard worker, and he's very particular about what he does, and you never have to second guess what he's doing, and that's obviously huge, that you get crew guys that you can trust to do whatever, and not have to second guess what they're doing, or worrying about whether you have to check what they're doing. But he's he's really, really, really good at his job, and we're really lucky to get him. And Joe works really hard on this thing too. It's just I think it's the combination of Kyle works really hard on this thing too when he can. I mean, he has a job, and when he does come around, he works really hard too. So the 4 of us just just a really good bond. I mean, I don't think there's a time that we're all frowning. I think we're all laughing all the time. So you got to have fun, and you got to laugh when you're doing this, or you're going to be miserable. So to have fun and run well on top of it, it's just feels like we're on top of the world.
All right, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
SprintCarLimited.com, coming from Lincoln Speedway with Weldon Sterner Memorial winner Anthony Macri.